I think one of the most important personal attributes to develop when it comes to learning how to use any computer application is the attribute of just being open to exploring and not being nervous about clicking things. Many people who consider themselves non-computer people are often afraid of messing around in programs and worry that they're going to break something. Well, I'm here to tell you that when you're working in any application, there's pretty much no chance that you can irreversibly mess up the application. Now, there's a better chance you can mess up a document or file you're using in the application, but let me show you a quick trick. Just about every application has a command under the File menu called Save As. This allows you to save a copy of your document on your computer, leaving the original document or file untouched. So for example, I'm currently working in Photoshop on a document called Lighthouse. I'll just call this Lighthouse V2 for version 2. I'll click Save, and you can see I'm now working on Lighthouse V2. And if I minimize Photoshop for a moment and go out and look in the folder where I have this file saved, which is my Pictures folder, notice I now have my original Lighthouse photo and Lighthouse V2. So I can work on Lighthouse V2 as much as I want, while the original Lighthouse photo will remain untouched. So this gives you the freedom to experiment as much as you want with this copy of your file, knowing that you have your original version sitting safe and sound on your hard drive. So really, the trick to learning any application is to embrace the idea of playing around with it. Start by clicking menus in the menu bar. Almost all applications have menus in common like File and Edit, which we'll talk about in an upcoming movie. But the other menus are the ones that are usually unique to the particular application you're working in. So really take some time and explore what's available in these menus. Usually, you'll be able to infer what the application is capable of based on the commands found in its menu bar. For example, here under Image, you can see that most of these commands have to do with affecting the look of the photo. Menus with arrows in them, like we see here next to Adjustments, indicate more selections are available in a submenu. And generally, any menu item that ends with ellipses, like we see for brightness and contrast and levels here, indicates that selecting that menu item will open up a window in which you'll be able to make additional selections. And that gives you yet another area of the application to explore and play around with. So if I had no idea what this Levels window does, I could still feel free to just come in here and start moving things around and clicking things to see how they affect my image. Note that you'll always find a Cancel button in windows like these. Cancel lets you close the window without making any changes regardless of whether you click some buttons or menus in that window. Many applications also have numerous toolbars or palettes in which you'll find several buttons and menus as well. Again, you want to take some time to look them over and read their labels and try to figure out what they do. And again, just feel free to play around. You'll also find that most applications reveal additional information about their buttons when you place your mouse over them. These are often called tooltips, and again, this is a quick and convenient way to learn what a program is capable of and what its tools are called. Another feature I'll talk about more in an upcoming movie is the undo feature, which many applications have in common. Undo is almost always found under the Edit menu, and it lets you take back the last change you made to your file or project. So here I see Undo Modify Hue Saturation Layer, which must be the changes that I was just applying, so I'll select that. And you can see this allows me to just step backwards to continue to undo until I get my image back to the way it was when I started. So this is yet another way to allow yourself the freedom to experiment and explore. Just try something out to see what it does, and then you can select Undo to take it back. So as you explore the application's menus and buttons, you'll really start to get an idea of the language of the application, how it works, how it's organized, and what you can or cannot do. The goal isn't to completely memorize every menu and button, but more to just learn what's possible and to browse the names of the menu commands and buttons. So when it does come time to actually do some work, you'll probably remember seeing a command or a button that fits what you're trying to do and be able to find it again. Lastly, most applications also have a Help menu in which you'll be able to find instructions for commonly used features or frequently performed tasks. So be sure to look under Help while you're exploring. Oftentimes you'll find some kind of online manual, like we have here in Photoshop. I can choose Photoshop Online Help, which pops up in my web browser, and now I can start browsing through the information that's available online. So those are just some general tips you can follow to help you get better acquainted with any particular application you need to learn. Of course, I've only been speaking in very general terms here, and it will take some time to really learn any application in depth. But these tips will help you get your bearings and make any application a little less foreign and much more familiar when it comes time to do some actual work.